right, welcome, kings and queens. And queens, we're back, y'all, and we are talking Brian Thompson, United Healthcare CEO, who was gunned down and murdered in New York City, Midtown Manhattan. He flew in on a Monday, lost his life on a Wednesday. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I believe this is much deeper than we think because this man did not and does not live in New York City. Who would have tabs on him to know exactly what hotel he was staying at? Who would know he did not have security detail? Only somebody from his inner circle or somebody really close to him. The public does not have that knowledge. The public does not receive that type of intel to know to fly in because now it's being said that the assailant, I am going to call him a hit guy. I am going to call him a hit guy for the purpose of today's commentary. The hit man flew in 10 days prior to murdering and gunning down the CEO. Okay. Now, FBI, if you know that, then how come this person is not in custody? You guys, I feel like, and I hopefully I'm not all over the place. I strongly believe that this was a professional hit. Initially, I had to take a pause because I was like, it's so sloppy. This is so sloppy. I mean, your face is on camera at Starbucks. You're outside and daylight. People can see you. They know your backpack. You use the digital footprint to take a scooter. I mean, they have you on camera coming in 10 days before. They have you here. They have you there. They have you everywhere. And I thought, you know what? This is a professional because the professional gives the client what they want, whomever the client is. And I'm going to refer to the client as the person that hired the takedown of this CEO, whomever put a target on his back. The question is why? The question is why? And when I say that a hitman services the client, if they say make it sloppy, I want you to make it look like an amateur did this. That's exactly what your professional is going to do. If they say write something on the bullets because I want to drive the public, I want to steer public opinion far down a completely different direction. I do not want any trace of this leading to me. I need you to um right, deny, depose, all of this on the bullets. Okay. We want to make this look like this is what I believe, y'all. We want to make this look like it was an angry consumer. This could have been anybody that was denied a claim, but it don't make sense to me because in order for that, it just doesn't happen like that. It's too good to be true. It doesn't happen like that. The man does not live in New York. This is a hit, in my opinion. It came from an inside person. And if it's not inside United Healthcare, it's definitely inside the insurance industry. And I want to talk about it, okay? We got to talk about it because let me tell you something. We're a little bit more savvy. We're a little bit more savvy than I think they give us credit for. I think whomever is behind this, there's a lot of money behind this, in my opinion. There's a lot of money behind this, in my opinion. This is somebody that got deep pockets. This is somebody that can make some shit go away. Okay. They told that hit guy to make it sloppy, jam the gun. Okay. I want it to seem like this is not professional. Because in order to order a professional hit, you have to have professional money. And if we start to make it look professional, then we have to start looking at the people closer to him, the people that he would have contact with on a day to day basis, be it day to day basis, weekly basis, or quarterly basis, like an investor meeting. Can we talk about it, you all? Can we talk about this case? I am intrigued by it. I don't believe this was random. I don't believe this is an angry, mad consumer. No, sir, no way. I think this is a white boy that was hired by the powers that be. Who are the powers that be? I don't know. Let's talk about it. For those of you who are tuned in, or if you're new to this channel, welcome. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
All right, so let me just bring you up to speed. And I know most of you are probably tuned in, but for those of you that aren't, I'm going to be updating you probably on a daily basis, maybe 2 to 3 times a week. But following the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, several major health insurance companies have now decided to remove their executive leadership pages from public view. Let me tell you something. Sweetheart, if the threat is coming from within, you removing photos ain't gonna do nobody no good. But let me continue. Thompson, we know, was found fatally shot early Wednesday morning in New York City in what police have described as a targeted attack. Okay, targeted. I'm gonna say murder for hire. I'm gonna say that. I think this is way deeper than we think. This has a price tag on it, and somebody felt like he had to go away. Authorities are still investigating the motive. Y'all know the motive. We're going to talk about it in a minute, but hold on. In response, United Healthcare took down its About Us page, which previously listed leadership details, including Thompson. The page now redirects the comp the page now redirects consumers, those people like us that are nosy, that are going to see what the hell is going on. They are now redirecting us to the company's homepage, and archive versions show it was accessible as of Wednesday morning. Here's the thing. Healthcare industry, healthcare executive people, individuals, they have a history of doing shit halfway. And what I mean by that, it's hard for them to make a decision. Just take it down. Why are you creating a different vanity link that if we click on about us and we click meet our leadership team or whatever it says, right? You're just going to point us to a different one. Just completely take it away. If you're going to do it, take it away. It's being reported that other health insurers have taken similar measures. We're talking Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield, which has faced backlash. They sure have for recent policy changes regarding anesthesia charges. Also, they removed their leadership page, redirecting it to a general About Us section. Why are we redirecting? Delete the shit. If you are concerned for the safety of your CEOs, delete it. Why are we creating vanity links that's going to point me to a different page? Just delete it. Anywho, we also have who else followed suit? We have Elevance Health. We had geez, I had the names in front of me, but just know that major health insurance carriers have now decided that in the interest and in the safety of their CEOs, that they're going to prioritize their safety. And I think they should. Again, condolences to Brian Thompson's family. Nobody deserves this. But hey, who am I? I'm not a billionaire investor. I'm not a person that needs to make somebody go away, which is why, I mean, my empathy goes a long way to him and to him and his family. This is just ridiculous to me. However, there's a lot of pissed off people, including doctors and physicians organizations. You guys, this has generated outrage from consumers, from medical practitioners, from providers, from facilities, you name it. Reddit actually had to pull down a page. A page on Reddit had to be pulled down because the physicians did not spare United Healthcare, nor did they spare Brian Thompson a lashing, a verbal lashing. When I tell you they went in on him, they expressed their disdain. Some of them expressed that they showed no empathy. And I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong, because emotions are high. Tensions are high right now. People are angry, people are upset, people are sad. This has generated a lot of buzz. So, United and other insurance carriers, we know that you are prioritizing your CEO's safety, but let's prioritize the market and your customers and ensure that you are doing your due diligence to provide as much access to the privatized care that we pay for, so that this does not happen again for whatever reason. Okay. Now, Brian Thompson was a numbers guy. He's a numbers guy. So I don't believe he had a target on his back because he did not make money. And to be quite honest with you, I made a mistake in my previous video. I said he brought in a profit for United Healthcare. So we know he understood the assignment. And based on his extensive history in finance, the man came in, he shook shit up, and he made them money. Okay. But in the process of making them money and putting money in their pockets, what we did not know and what we're coming to find out is that United Healthcare was under investigation by the Department of Justice for violating and breaking antitrust laws. Antitrust law It's known as a competition law. It's a set of regulations and statutes that promote fair and open competition in different industries and markets. Antitrust laws prohibit anti competitive business practices such as monopolization. Ooh. We don't want you Debo in the market. We don't want you coming in like a thug with all of your money attempting to monopolize the market, especially the health care landscape. And when a firm unreasonably restrains and or blocks another competitor to maintain a monopoly. Price fixing or price gouging, when a business agrees to set prices together or not compete in certain areas. That's crazy. That means we're not going to provide you care and coverage in this area. We're going to starve you to death. We're going to make it so bad that you're going to come back and crawl to us. And whatever we put on the table, you're going to have no choice but to accept. Rural areas, if you think about the lack of care in rural areas, that means we're not going to compete in certain areas. We're going to create a healthcare deficit. Collusion, when businesses work together to restrict competition. Bid rigging, when businesses collude to rig bids. Y'all, this is behind the scenes, a lot of this, the collusion and the bid rigging. This is something that you're not aware of as public, but when these carriers go out, when they go out to quote on business, they're going out to large corporations. Think of Nike, NFL, think of Disney, cable companies, media. I mean, these corporations have to provide health care. We're talking medical coverage, pharmaceutical, we're talking behavioral health. You name it, I'll claim it. These companies, so what they're saying, antitrust laws forbids corporations from bid rigging. When businesses come together to rig bids, hey, we're all going to come in at this. We're going to push Cigna out. We're going to force Blue Cross Blue Shield out. They won't even be able to compete. Therefore, we will monopolize this market, and also group boycotts when businesses work together to boycott other businesses. Here's why antitrust laws are important, because they ensure that consumers, that's people like you and I, have access to competitive prices and high quality goods and services. Competitive prices, that means affordable, market share, fair value in the market. And not only that, you're going to ensure that I receive high quality treatment, high quality care from these labs, from these facilities, these ancillary providers, physicians, all of that, dentists, and services. And also to protect the antitrust laws are here to protect economic freedom and the free enterprise system. And it also enables businesses to compete by offering the best combination of price, quality, and service. That's your pharmaceutical costs, your 90-day delivery, that's your vision, you guys, your dental, your medical coverage, all of that good stuff. And United Healthcare and their C-suite executives, they were under investigation for violating. The Department of Justice was auditing them for violating the antitrust laws. But here's the thing, they did not tell the investors. Now, do you not think that would piss somebody off? You playing with my money now? You mean to tell me I've poured in this amount of money to this entity, this carrier, and you knew all along and you didn't say shit? Would that not piss somebody off, especially as an investor, if my hands are not clean? Now, this is just all hypothetical, but the fact that you would put my money, because it all comes down to money, power, and respect, right? That's all it comes down to. Otherwise, he would still be living. You mean to tell me, as the largest healthcare carrier in the world, you now risk my relationships globally because they are the largest in the world. You risk my relationships globally. And not only are you risking my money, you're risking Mr. Big's money. Oh no, Brian Thompson, you got to go. And as a matter of fact, why don't we just schedule an investor meeting on Wednesday, mm, December 4th? And we're going to deny you access to security detail. What does that mean, Queen Sheba? Let me just tell you what I think. Let's get into the thick of it. A former bodyguard for Brian Thompson, the UnitedHealthcare CEO, whom we are talking about today, he expressed his disbelief that the executive did not have security, you all, when he was murdered. I told you, I'm leaning towards inside job. Philip Klein was a former bodyguard for the CEO. He's based in Texas, and his security firm Previously provided bodyguards for Thompson in the 2000s. Now, keep in mind, Thompson did not become appointed as CEO until 2021. So prior to him ever becoming CEO, he had bodyguards. Why in the hell would he not have a bodyguard for an investor meeting when he was traveling from Minnesota to New York City? It's unheard of, right? Because if he could have bodyguards when he was a CFO, because he's been with United over 20 something years. He also previously served as a CFO. Prior to that, he's a numbers guy. That's all I'm saying. He has an extensive financial background. So the man knew where to go to find the money. But let's get into it. Philip Klein, the former bodyguard, told TMZ that he is shocked and baffled to see the high-profile CEO did not have a detail, at least, watch this, 10 security guards with him while out and about in Manhattan. Given the malevolence the insurance industry often faces, he said this is a very hostile industry, very volatile. Threats come in all day, every day. We know this. We're not new to this. We true to this. Why in the hell would this man be walking around without security detail? I'll tell you what I think. I think because he was denied security detail. I think he was purposely booked there at that hotel. CEOs, C-suite executives do not book and plan their own lodging and their flights. Somebody else does it for them. Inside job. Okay? I'm going to keep saying it. Somebody else does it for them. So before he went on that trip, if the assailant arrived 10 days before, that means somebody had full knowledge of exactly where he would be staying, probably before Brian did. Let's get into it. FBI, pull those records. A lot of times CEOs don't know where they're going until they know the day before, 2 days before. But let me tell you, they're so busy, they don't have it down in their book. They know they're traveling, but as far as what hotel, your secretary, your administrative assistant, the traveling coordinator, whoever does that will know. There's select hotels that they stay at, and he was supposed to have security detail. Now, why would it be denied? Because somebody said, this time is different, probably. You're just across the street, Brian. Somebody had to have made him feel comfortable to the point that he just went on with it as a CEO. Across the street from the conference place. Okay, we really can't justify in the budget giving you security detail for this trip. Sounds like the perfect setup to me. The former bodyguard says he also says Thompson should have been wearing a vest. Very interesting. In addition to having guards by his side, but adds he likely didn't have it on due to personal preference. That means feeling comfortable. He felt comfortable. Somebody made him feel comfortable. Hold on. Philip believes it's now United Health is now United Healthcare that has some explaining to do. Didn't I say it? He said they have some explaining to do regarding Thompson strolling solo into the Hilton, as the late businessman should have never been out by himself. But again, it is ultimately his choice. Let me tell you something. This man brought in over $10.2 million. Ain't no freaking way in the world. He should have been just frolicking and gallivanting alone the streets of New York, because he is a key person to the corporation. And most corporations, most organizations do everything possible to protect their key persons. They actually take out insurance policies on them. That's how valuable they are. That should the CEO die, they receive up to 10 times their salary. So if you have a CEO that's worth over $100 million, according to the key person interest insurance policy, why in the hell would he be walking out alone? I'm with the bodyguard. Let's keep going. He says Thompson was a nice guy who was a real go-getter when he was covering him, yet he is not surprised the CEO might have had a target on his back. As Klein puts it, it is common knowledge in the insurance biz that it generates a lot of hostility. Noting Thompson's death should be a lesson to other major corporations. Their CEOs and executives need to be protected. I get that. And I think that's important. But I think we would be foolish to talk about why they need to we would be foolish to jump straight to CEOs and executives need to be protected without talking about why people or why they need to be protected. They need to be protected because of what? The harshness and the reality of the American healthcare industry, how harsh it is, how it keeps people sick. And then the insurance company denies the necessary treatment in order to make them better. Okay. So that's a whole different conversation. As TMZ, okay, we know he died and all of that. I want to talk about real quick the part where you all said that the wife, some of you are saying, listen, Queen Sheba, the wife ain't passing the sniff test. They were living in two separate homes. Okay, let's talk about it real quick. All right. I know you guys are kind of, some people put in the comments, listen, I didn't like that wife's response. It seemed very strategic, dry, conservative, not very concerned. So let's review this. In 2021, in 2021, Brian Thompson recorded, y'all, they so nosy. They went back and looked at this man's voter registration form. He listed a new Minnesota address as his place of residence on his voter registration form, while Paulette Thompson maintained the couple's previously shared address in the same city of Maple Grove per her voter registration document that was submitted in 2020 and last updated in 2023. So it seems like there was trouble in paradise. Now let's go back. In 2021, he was appointed as the CEO for United Health. So somewhere between 2020 and 2021, something occurred that he and Paulette would have to live in different homes, okay? His new address, however, was only 1 mile away. Now, listen, that's not, let me tell you something. Let me tell you how the game is played, baby. That's not a big deal if you know what arena you're playing in. A man is considered successful when he's married. Nobody wants a single CEO. Nobody's going to pay a single CEO with over $10 million dollars a year. Nobody will trust him. He has nothing to lose. He has no commitment to anything other than himself. So white men understand that it's a very bad look. It's a very bad look to have a public divorce, a public separation. So they really moved very quietly. Okay. That's not abnormal for him to quietly get a condo, quietly get an apartment, a penthouse, a high rise, another home, and nobody know. Also, this was not the only insight into Brian's life that was revealed. They're saying that in 2017, Thompson was arrested in Minnesota and charged with a DUI, according to arrest records obtained by News. And the 50-year-old was convicted for the misdemeanor, receiving a maximum sentence of 2 years probation. Not a big deal, but it is a big deal because he could have killed someone. So now they're kind of giving you a little bit of background into his history. If you go back to my first video, I said that CEOs are often groomed. You don't just pluck them into place in organizations as the largest health insurance carrier in the world. They're often groomed. They are like white on rice with the CEO that's before them, right? You got to put them next to them so that you can groom them. So I said it was probably 2017, 2016 that Brian was probably being groomed to become the next CEO in 2021. Now, why is this DUI important? Because if you're being groomed, you now have access to your own card. You're going to company dinners. You're entertaining clients, potential clients, prospective clients. You're going to sporting events. You're at some of the best steakhouses. You're drinking whiskey. You're smoking cigars. So I can see the DUI, not to justify it, but I can see it because his life has started to change. He has a little bit more access to the better things in life. Okay? A little bit more access to the better things in life. Following his passing, Paulette, who shares 2 sons with Brian, shared a heartfelt message about her husband, who was on his way to speak at an investor conference held by UnitedHealthcare's parent company, United Health Group. Okay, we know that. Okay. I was trying to get Here it is. I was trying to get to her words. She says, Brian was an incredibly loving, generous, talented man who truly lived life to the fullest and touched so many lives, Paulette said in a statement obtained by NBC News. Most importantly, Brian was an incredible, loving father to our two sons and will be greatly missed. Wow. Oh, that's what y'all are saying. Short, sweet, to the point, Short, sweet, to the point, huh? United, so if we're gonna rip Paulette apart, we may as well rip United Health Group apart because they barely gave him anything. They said we are working closely with the New York Police Department and ask for your patience and understanding during this difficult time. The organization added, our hearts go out to Brian's family and all who were close to him. Listen, let me tell you something. Ain't no fucking way in hell I would break my neck for these corporations. It is business as usual. Paulette, that was kind of dry, but who knows, y'all? Let's take it to the chat. What are your thoughts? In the next video, I want to talk about the assailant. We're going to focus on that in the next video. Let's take the conversation to the chat. What are your thoughts on all of this? Inside job. Now that you know that he was under investigation by the Department of Justice and did not. The word on the street is 9 executives resigned in 2023. See, they knew the shit was about to hit the fan. You start playing with Big Papa's money, Mr. Big's money, and that money, y'all, is long and strong. Do you feel like those investors were like, oh, hell no, because now he can't testify? Now he can't testify. I don't know. What are your thoughts?